That interview Fetterman gave was crazy because he was called lying twice in less than a minute. Yeah. Do you guys have the Fetterman interview as well, where he like justifies the death of a 9-year-old, which is insane? Oh, here it is. Once again.
I would love to understand where your affinity with the state of Israel actually comes from. Can you explain its origin to me?
Yes. Well, I mean, I can't say that there is an origin. I think it's really about, that's our ally. There's a special relationship. And now if anyone that studies history realize that if you aren't unwilling to stand and protect and support the Jewish community, that can end in incredibly terrible, awful ways. That's what history has taught us. And now to anybody that doesn't follow the history and not even aware of a lot of it, like err on the side of democracy. And that is the only democracy in the middle of that region. And I had the chance to visit there, and that's the kind of society that have the same kinds of values that we live and what we aspire to, especially, ironically, progressives, especially for women and members of the LGBTQ communities. And that's why for me, it's an easy choice through this.
I am curious if on that trip you made to Israel, if you went to the West Bank at all and met any Palestinians there.
I didn't go to the West. I didn't. And then, so I didn't have unlimited time to see all the things that I wish I could. But I would love to go back. But
I guess what I'm asking is if you've tried to understand the other side of this conflict.
I've talked to a lot of people. I would visit and I would discuss members of the Arab and Muslim from Pennsylvania. I would have open dialogue. I entertain that. I would be happy to really understand the other side. And I've been unable to, other than it's like, hey, if we can just stop fighting and attacking Israel, that's going to make the quality of life for anyone in that region to start to get better.
As you mentioned, you visited Israel for the first time in June. You met with Israel's Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, who thanked you for your courage and your support of Israel. How do you see his leadership during this conflict?
Yeah, I thought it was really curious that Democrats felt like they needed to politically to criticize Israel, but that would be difficult. So they found that, well, we're going to just focus on Netanyahu. And you can think he's a bad leader or a bad person or anything, but that happens to be the democratically leader of Israel.
Oh, God, he's so bad. Here.
I just want to bring it back to your state, though, because you have gotten criticism from both Muslim groups and pro-peace Jewish groups. Last month, the Philadelphia and Pittsburgh chapters of the Council on American Islamic Relations, they issued a joint statement where they condemned you for saying that you loved Israel's pager attacks targeting Hezbollah in Lebanon.
I do. I absolutely.
Well, they said when our elected officials start condoning the civilian loss of life, our collective moral compass is irreparably harmed. That's a quote. And indeed, that attack did hurt and maim civilians.
It didn't. It was targeted for men.
It did. What do you mean it didn't? You can't just like wish cast something that didn't happen. How is any different than the just like QAnon weirdos, You're just hallucinating.
Members of, no one uses beepers in that situation other than they were a member of.
There was a young child
that was a micro targeting to minimize civilians.
There was a young child who was taking the pager to their parent.
Unfortunately, tragically, because Daddy was a member of. That's tragic. He
like would you have the same energy if the roles were reversed? If a member of the Knesset of the Likud party that you just criticized, right, Benjamin Netanyahu, it's just like people are criticizing him, whatever. If like a child of a Likud party member, someone in the chat said the dad was a doctor. Yeah, there was a bunch of there were a bunch of guys. Stop sending me Richie Torres tweets, please. Like he's got the John Fetterman brain rot, dude. Like he's posting. Is this the same Myron Gaines who say we must first figure out a way to take our country back from Jewish supremacists? You and Hasan Piker are two symptoms of the same disease, anti-Semitism with Twitch. This guy's not even a Twitch streamer. He literally was unbanned and then subsequently banned from Twitch. Okay, please, you do indeed have a First Amendment right to speak, but so do I, and I will speak I will to the chagrin of every rotten anti-Semite on Twitch. This guy's not even on Twitch. Like, it's just brain rot. This is funny. I saw this earlier. This person saw Ethan Klein's screenshot and the name Hasan and assumed it was Hasan Piker, not Mehdi Hasan. Lumping you in with Fresh and Fit is wild. I know. It's disgusting. Why is Myron coming to your defense with I don't know. It's just maybe to whitewash their perspective somehow. I don't know. There's never been a moment where I've defended them. Okay. They are like Myron is literally a Holocaust minimizer at best. Most likely a Holocaust denier. Okay. Like when he had a conversation with Ethan, I remember very quickly, Ethan was like, okay, what do you think about the Holocaust? And he was just like so evasive. He's nice enough to support your right to speak your mind law. Guys, stop. It's cynical. Okay. It's completely cynical. He's backing you though. A lot of you are so stupid. A lot of you are so stupid, dude. You are literally operating with minus 10 IQ, okay? You just genuinely don't understand. No, I am permitting them. Like, what do you mean? I don't want support from Holocaust deniers, you dumb. The is wrong with you? That is not a very good argument. No, it is a good argument. And if you support Holocaust deniers and the like, because they said, oh, well, I respect people's First Amendment rights, like in the process of like trying to normalize their perspective, you are a dumb, okay? You are dumb as you are so easily duped. Holy shit. God damn. There's never been a singular moment where I've ever allowed that kind of sentiment to be expressed in this community. Okay? They're too focused on drama to realize that what they're doing. Yeah, these people have to be baiting at this point. There's no way you can be this brain dead. No, I think that they are that brain dead. I think there are, there's going to be a lot of stupid people in this community too, everywhere. What's next, dude? Oh, Nicholas Fuentes defended my right to free speech. Oh, okay. Sure. Like, what do you mean? Those guys
brought that danger and evil into their home. And that's what's
like a lot of people I think don't understand. Okay. The way I look at this, okay. A lot of people who are pro-Israel are fascist of a different variety. There is no difference in terms of like ethnic superiority arguments that have made, that neo-Nazis made, that fascists still make to this day, versus people who believe in the demographic concerns of Israel maintaining a Jewish ethnic majority. Okay? It's a handshake. One side, it's a handshake where both sides are unironically making anti-Semitic arguments. The idea that like all Jews have to 100% singularly defend Israel. It's ridiculous.
That's what tragically resulted in that poor child's death, and that's what's so terrible. She paid the price because her father was a terrorist. And I grieve for the death of Palestinian children and other innocents there. I don't assign any more value to their lives. I mean,
yeah, you do.
This is my own children's lives, and that's why we have to destroy. And we have to develop a new way forward where people can live in peace, so that this kinds of death and misery, it has to stop. But it's not being driven by Israel; it's driven by Iran and that kinds of commitment to destroy the state of Israel. And now you have idiots in this nation, talking about and chanting about from the river to the sea. And they try to pretend that doesn't exactly what that means. And that is Israel is in the middle of the sea and that river, and that has to be wiped free. And that's at least own your anti-Semitism rather.
Shut the f up. Anyway, you guys understand that like there are permission structures for genuinely Islamophobic sentiment being expressed here. And that is part of the reason why the Richard Spencer writer guy thought that he would be able to spew that nonsense comfortably on CNN, especially when CNN has done this. CNN pundit calls Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar a public relations agent for Hasan with no pushback.
Today. No, she's a Democrat. They're going to vote for Biden. I'm not surprised about that. I am surprised that in the year of our Lord 2024, there is a public relations agent for Hamas sitting in the United States Congress.
Today.
No.
He didn't get fired. He's still one of the most prominent Republican voices on CNN. Okay? So understand that. This is what I mean when I say Islamophobia is so pervasive and so permissible. Okay? It's just like the most normalized form of bigotry.